Welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm American Sunrise contributor Emily Finn. It's great to have you with us this morning. Time now to drain the swamp, and this morning we are flushing out efforts to silence potential influence in the New York City mayoral election. Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa is urging President Trump to not get involved in the race. Sliwa said that it won't help if Trump is involved. Sliwa went on to say that when the headlines are Trump versus Zohran Mamdani, it's a good day for Mamdani. This comes as the New York Times is reporting that President Trump has had multiple phone calls with Andrew Cuomo, who is running as an independent, and President Trump is considering getting involved in the race. For more, let's bring in Dr. Gina, Terrence, and David here. Terrence, I think this is just a testament to how much influence President Trump has. If he puts out a Truth Social post or just makes a comment at a press conference, the press really runs with it. So I think that's exactly what Curtis Sliwa is referring to here.
And I guess I get it in principle, but it's the president. It's President Trump, who is a New Yorker. Yes, New York is very blue, but President Trump really was able to mobilize lots of voters, particularly in New York City, during the last election. The fact is that life is probably a little bit better in New York since President Trump has taken office. So taking him off the board, I just don't see that, David, as a smart political move. I don't see how you benefit from taking President Trump off the board, taking his voice or silencing his voice in an election, particularly one in which a Democrat and a communist at this point seems to be leading the way.
Yeah, well, let's just start with this. No one silences President Trump. This
Okay,
idea
fair
that
enough.
even if they wanted to try, good luck with that. So that's not going to happen. I agree. I mean, I think he should be involved, obviously. And why? Because he cares so much about New York, because he's from New York. He's from Queens, as you guys know. And, of course, Trump Tower and all of that. So he has a vested interest. He really does, just from a personal standpoint. I have a vested interest. I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker who grew up, and I grew up actually in the 1970s. Look, so I've seen Times Square pre what it is now, and it wasn't pretty. Thank you, Ed Koch. And so, I was in the Son of Sam days. I'm really dating myself at this point. So there's all of that. But let me just say, as it relates to the mayoral race, Mamdani's going to win. Okay, so here's the deal. The only way he can't win, potentially, is if everybody gets out of the race. And Cuomo right now, here's the deal. The latest polls show that Mamdani's got 44%. Cuomo is the closest at 25%. Then you've got Curtis Sliwa at 12%, and then Eric Adams at 7%. So carry the one, and that all adds up to 44%. What Mamdani has. So they would all have to get out of the race and let Cuomo go one-on-one with Mamdani. But I don't think that's going to happen. So Mamdani's going to win. And Gina, you can make the argument at this point that maybe, and hear me out for a second, I don't want Mamdani to win, don't get me wrong, but maybe he should. Maybe it needs to be one step back to go two steps forward and really expose what socialism and communism and all of this is really all about in practicality, and let New York and New Yorkers suffer the consequences.
We don't get the government we want. We get the government we deserve. And that is just a political reality. And sometimes it takes somebody as incompetent as Joe Biden to usher back in a Donald Trump, right? So, David, I think you make a very salient point. And I also think that, I think the concern perhaps that Sliwa is facing is, with just such a crowded field drawing votes from everybody, that President Trump might come in and endorse someone who's been friendly to him, like an Eric Adams. And then what happens, right? And so I think you're absolutely right, though, Terrence. I don't think that, David, I don't think anyone's going to silence President Trump. You're 100% right about that. But Terrence, also, I think President Trump could be a strong and powerful voice in this, because there are a lot of people that do not want a communist, right? They do not want. So if President Trump did decide to come in and do something unconventional, like endorse a Democrat, President Trump knows these people. He's worked in this town forever. Any Democrat would probably, I wouldn't say any, but almost any, at least the ones in this race, would be better than a communist. It'll just be interesting to watch. Look, New York may just have to go through this. This just may be part of the growing pains but I don't think this is indicative of where the country is going. That's where I disagree with those who are surmising that this is where the country is going, that we're all going to turn to. I think we're going the other direction.
And part of the problem here is you got two Democrats that are flawed. You got Cuomo and Eric Adams, and so that's the other problem here. Even if you endorse, I mean, it's not a pure Democrat that you're kind of going with.
Well, there
that doesn't have
isn't
problems.
a pure Democrat today, David Brody.
Well, okay, that's true.
It is certainly going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out in the New York City mayoral race. We do have a lot more coming up for you on American Sunrise. We're headed down to Wall Street for the opening bell and insight into how to hold on to your hard-earned dollars with some common sense. We'll be back with more American Sunrise in just 2 minutes.